The marriage-based green card. What are the required documents and evidence? Welcome everyone to the Immigrant Blueprint. I am attorney Ebony, an immigration attorney located in New Jersey. However, I represent clients in all 50 states with immigration law matters. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I ask that you please subscribe so that you can stay up to date every time I drop a new video. If you like the information that is shared on this platform, please hit the like button and share with anyone who you think will benefit from this information. In a previous video, I went over what the required forms are for a marriage-based adjustment of status. If you haven't already watched this video, I will link the video in the description so that you can check it out. Today, I want to go over what are the documents and evidence required for a marriage-based adjustment of status. So if you are applying for your marriage-based green card within the United States, the process that you will go through is called the marriage-based green card adjustment of status. So what are the required documents for the United States citizen spouse? As the U.S. citizen petitioner spouse, you will be required to submit Form I-130 Petition for Alien Relative and I-864 Affidavit of Support, as discussed in the previous video. In addition to submitting these forms to USCIS, you will also have to provide supporting evidence that shows proof of your status. So you want to provide evidence that you are a qualifying relative, so you're a U.S. citizen, evidence that your marriage is bona fide, which means that your marriage is real and genuine, and also that you can financially support your spouse that you are sponsoring for a green card. So, what supporting evidence should you submit with these forms? While the documents listed here are not an exhausted list, these are some of the main required documents that USCIS officers reviewing your file will look for. The whole point is to submit an application package that presents a picture that this marriage is real and that you both intend to build a future together. Some required evidence that the U.S. sponsoring spouse should submit include a copy of their birth certificate or naturalization certificate if they're a naturalized citizen, copy of their U.S. passport if they have one, divorce or death decrees from previous marriages. This will also apply to the foreign spouse. Copies of your last 3 tax returns and W-2s or 1099s. If applicable, you can provide a current employment letter with your application. The point is, USCIS is going to want to see evidence that you can financially support your foreign national spouse so that he or she does not become a public charge. If for whatever reason you do not meet the financial requirements, you can have a joint sponsor added to your application. You also should submit a copy of the marriage license, right? And although the marriage license is important, right, because it shows that you are both legally married, it is not the only way to prove that your marriage is real. In fact, it doesn't really prove that your marriage is genuine. It takes much more than that. So, in addition to submitting the marriage license, you should submit other documents showing that this marriage is bona fide. You can provide wedding pictures or relationship photos. You can also write a declaration from both you and your spouse talking about your relationship, sharing how it started, sharing how it's going. You can also share affidavits from family members or friends who are familiar with your relationship, evidence of a joint life and financial commitment. So, this will include copies of joint bank accounts and not just joint bank accounts that are not being used, right? You want to actually show a bank account that's actively being used to support your daily lives, utility bills in both your names, a deed or a lease showing both your names. If you have joint children, you can provide copies of their birth certificates. You get the point. When preparing your application, think about all the evidence that you can show that this marriage is actually genuine. As the foreign national spouse and the beneficiary of the green card, you will also be required to submit supporting evidence. You must submit a copy of your birth certificate, and it must be the long form version, which includes your mother and your father's information. If you do not have access to your birth certificate for whatever reason, I advise working with an immigration attorney to determine what documents you can submit in lieu of your birth certificate. You should submit a copy of your passport, your visa, and I-94, providing evidence of your lawful entry into the United States. Remember, in order to adjust your status, which means applying for your green card from within the United States, you must provide evidence of your lawful entry. If you were previously married, you must provide proof that you are free to marry your current spouse, such as a divorce decree and a death certificate. A medical exam is also required and can be submitted at the time of the interview. In fact, many people choose to wait until their interview has been scheduled before completing the medical exam. If you have a criminal record, be sure to work with an immigration attorney before applying, just to ensure that you are not inadmissible. You do not want to start the immigration process and apply and find out later on that you've now exposed yourself to being removed from this country because of inadmissibility issues. So if you have any criminal histories, please work with an immigration attorney. Again, the documents that I list in this video are not an exhaustive list of supporting evidence that you can submit with your marriage green card application. Additional evidence submitted will depend on the circumstances surrounding your particular case. If you have complicated facts in your case, or again, if you have a criminal history, no matter how small, be sure to speak with an immigration attorney who will be able to advise you on the best course of action and your legal options. Again, thank you for watching this video. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button and share with anyone you feel may find this information helpful as well. Or if you want to set up a call with me directly to discuss your particular immigration matter, you can call or text my number. It's 201-565-0099. And I'd love to take the time to talk to you about your immigration case. You can also click the link in my description to set up a consultation online. Until next time, take care.